Welcome to game 2 of the series, Luvnest versus Francis again. Luvnest smashed Francis pretty bad there in game 1, who chose Soviet industry at probably the worst possible time for him to do so. We're now going to see Luvnest Soviets up against Francis Oberkommando West, who will field a Kubelwagen first. We're going to see Luvnest standard Soviet loadout, same 3 Soviet commanders he always uses, guard motor shock rifle and guard rifle combined arms against Francis, scavenge, Luftwaffe, and breakthrough. So he has all 3 of the infantry call-ins available to him. Probably be taking advantage of one of those on this map. Minsk Pocket is not the best map for fielding Jaegers or Fallschirmjäger because there are almost no buildings except for on the victory points. But they can still be good to have, so we'll see if he's able to make good use of those this game. Maybe set up a better defense against Luvnest's very offensive containment strategies. Kubelwagen heading straight for the fuel point. Luvnest working the flanks for now. Combat engineers left, conscripts right. Kubelwagen is going very deep. We're turning around and looking for other opportunities over here on the strategic point. Stern Pioneers sticking to the back, taking control of this fuel for now. Kubelwagen will probably force this retreat unless they can make it into the building. He does force some munitions expenditure from Luvnest. Some munitions being spent on that hoorah to get to the safety of the building. That's something. Luvnest now knows his opponent has gone Kubelwagen and will react to that accordingly. Stern Pioneers move up to take control of the center victory point, and this squad of Volksgrenadiers is going to head right to get control of the various territories over here. Kubelwagen takes light damage pulling away from that engagement. Stern Pioneers will get that repaired.
Enemy is alerted to our presence. Prepare for
Volksgrenadier are on the line.
SWS moves up a little bit aggressively out of the OKW base. Francis might be thinking of a tier 2 somewhere in this general area. This is a popular spot in this intersection. See what he chooses to do. Luvnest is going with his 3 conscript, 2 combat engineer into tier 1 build. M3 is going to be in production soon to counter the Kubelwagen.
Keep your heads down!
Target that infantry! Protect the flank!
Kubelwagen is getting flanked pretty effectively. Nice volley right there, brings it very low. Volksgrenadiers moving up to support this Kubelwagen. Those conscripts just walked around the hedge away from those Sturms, and the Kubelwagen is already destroyed before Luvnest even makes it to tier 1. But both squads of conscripts will retreat from this engagement after the successful destruction of that Kubel. So Francis, despite not preserving that unit for very long, will at least get this fuel point under control. Hello, Vladimir, again, and thank you again for your donation. Combat engineers heading left to get control of this strategic point over here, and these conscripts are moving to grab the fuel point as well.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
And the Volksgrenadiers will salvage that Kubelwagen while they have an opportunity to at least get some small amount of fuel back, and the M3 is about to hit the field. And Francis definitely has no counter to that right now. SWS encounters these combat engineers over here and it's just sitting there. So hopefully that doesn't get destroyed. Sandbag fighting position built here on Francis fuel point. And Volksgrenadiers are taking control of the strategic and fuel points here in the north. Stern Pioneers chased off the strategic point by these double conscripts. And the M3 with the flamethrower is about to smash into the battlefield and probably force full retreats, maybe even get wipes if he gets enough lucky crits, but it can be difficult to path efficiently through Minsk Pocket's forests. And he just turned backwards, so that's not going to help. So no wipes. Everything is going to make a full retreat away from the M3 though. Stern Pioneers might take a little bit of light damage as well. The SWS has pulled back into the base after falling to about half. Volksgrenadiers move up to try and chase away the combat engineers right there. M3 is on its way to force retreats from these Volksgrenadiers as well.
Comrades, we have now installed a field hospital at headquarters.
Mines being planted here.
We have it.
Conscripts backing up into some green cover, and these combat engineers are going to move to take control of all the various territory, and an offensive containment is about to get set up on Francis again. Tier 3 is in production, but he will not be able to get a AA half-track out for 10 fuel, and he only has 3 incoming because he just threw on munitions transfer of all things to try and get some Panzerschrecks out, I guess, which means that his first vehicle will be extremely delayed. Unless maybe he can destroy this thing and salvage it. We'll give him over a full minute's worth of fuel at this rate. Light grenade doesn't do anything.
Enemy rounds! Keep your heads down! Target secured! Grenadier under attack!
This blob is probably maybe not going to beat that M3. I don't know. It's falling to about half. Trying to force it to retreat at least with small arms fire. That Volksgrenadier squad falls a little low. They're going to have to retreat. Conscripts are also going to have to retreat from Sturm Pioneer fire. But guards are on the field here for Luvnest and should probably be able to force retreats from some of this infantry. And there's another conscript squad available over here as well. This conscript squad on the right side is forced off by the Volksgrenadiers, which are trying to maintain victory point control. But up till this point, Luvnest has had both fuel points in his possession and will be able to utilize that to get himself to tier 3 very quickly.
Enemy infantry!
New conscript squads will now be armed. The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Grenade toss right there. Doesn't really do anything. These two squads will be forced back into the base for healing and reinforcement. Tier 3 is about halfway done, and the M3 flamethrower is fully repaired, making its way right to force more retreats from infantry squads. Francis has switched off munitions transfer, switched on fuel transfer after spending all of the munitions on grenades. So still no Panzerschreck in his possession. He's going to try and make it to Rakettenwerfer instead. Our Rakettenwerfer is going to come out at about the same time that Luvnest Tier 3 finishes. Once it does, I'm guessing half-track. Seems to like the half-track for forward reinforcement. Possibly T-70. I'm definitely expecting a light vehicle, though. He wants to get it out as quickly as possible, try and capitalize on the fact that he's holding this fuel point for a few precious seconds out of his opponent's control. Does not quite seal the deal on that Volksgrenadier squad. They will get away with a tiny sliver of health remaining. Rakettenwerfer is making its way onto the battlefield and maybe see if it can do something against this M3. Grenade toss on the M3! Ugh. He dared to dream what it was not to be. PPSH is moving up into short range on these Volksgrenadiers, and that is, by the way, guard rifle combined arms chosen by Luvnest, not guard motor, which his opponent now knows for sure, so that does weaken Luvnest's late game significantly if Francis could pull off some sort of miracle survival. But guard's position in green cover on his fuel point will be almost impossible to get rid of. Sturm Pioneers falling low on the approach, and a grenade will actually force the issue, but that is, again, munitions that Francis just can't afford. He still doesn't have a Panzerschreck, and it's almost 10 minutes into the game. He did throw a mine down, or no, combat engineers threw a mine down somewhere. Over here, on the right side. Rakettenwerfer moves up, M3 has been fully repaired, and the T-70 is in production, so T-70, not half-track. M3 might go down. Rakettenwerfer shot misses, and everything will be forced to make a full retreat from PPSH-equipped conscripts. Luvnest will soon hold every single point on the entire map. Blob advancing. Doesn't make much progress against that flamethrower M3. That SWS half-track pulls back as well. Francis is now completely contained. He has had the fuel for a flak half-track for a while. Hasn't purchased one. I'm not sure, maybe he wanted to surrender. Okay, that explains it. Good game, well played Luvnest. Takes the series 2-0, 10-minute victory. Off to a great start here at the beginning of a fresh week of Starcross Kings. Let's see what happens in the next series.